There's frisbee, and there's golf, and then there's disc golf. When you play disc golf, that's the sound you want to hear.
Hole 3, Chauncey Donaldson, Austin Montgomery.
More than 100 disc golf players, their bags packed with discs.
Are there any questions on course layout?
Descend on Arvada in April for a statewide tournament. The 7th annual Spring Fling 2010 is held at the popular Johnny Roberts Memorial Disc Golf Course, right behind Arvada City Hall. With more than 40 years' experience and several championship titles to his name, John Bird is a disc golf pioneer. As president of the Mile High Disc Golf Club in Arvada, he sponsors the tournament and nurtures future stars up the ladder.
They're of all ages and divisions, from juniors all the way up to grandmasters, from the amateur to the pros.
Pros will be competing for cash, amateurs for prizes. And just like in golf, it can be fun.
Oh, Kathy, you're not even going to get there.
It can be frustrating, and it can be competitive.
Chauncey? Austin?
There's just something about it. I mean, it's something that you're controlling. You're in charge of where it goes. You know, when you step up, when you first start playing, you're throwing at 50 feet. And after a couple of years, you get good, you're throwing at 700 feet. It's real gratifying seeing that thing go a long way.
Chauncey Donaldson knows how to make that disc sail, and his accuracy is dead on. About 15 years ago, Donaldson was one of the top 10 disc golfers in the world.
I had a weird kind of path that I took. I was a natural at the game, so I picked it up real fast, and I think I maybe played 6 months as an amateur and I turned pro right away, because I always realized that the only way to get good is by playing around people that are better than you. So I started playing pro when I was 12, 13 years old.
Donaldson grew up right across the street from the park. As a young boy, he'd help the golfers fish their discs out of Ralston Creek. One day they invited him to play, and he's been hooked ever since.
I know every square inch of this park. I've pretty much grown up in it. Spent hours upon hours out here every day for 10 years straight.
For a young boy who'd just lost his dad, the timing in his life was perfect.
Yep, they're all family. I mean, a lot of these guys I've known for 20 years, and growing up without, that father figure in the household, a lot of these guys took that spot.
Guys like John Bird.
He was a real up-and-coming star, but it was really tough to make it out there on the road at that time, because there just wasn't enough money to really support somebody doing all the traveling.
In such a friendly, free-spirited community, it didn't take long for Donaldson's younger and equally competitive sister to get hooked as well.
I went to tournaments and watched them for about a year, and then I got tired of watching and picked up a disc and started playing myself.
She was 12 years old then, and soon became one of the top disc golfers in the state. She and her brother competed in the Junior World Championships.
I helped coach him a little bit here and there to get the Chauncey his title for sure.
You letting your little sister beat you?
A lot of tournaments together, a lot of practice together, we travel together, we do everything together.
As with any sport, practice makes perfect.
If you just want to come out and have a good time, you don't have to practice. You can practice while you play. If you really want to be good and try to go far in the game, you really have to, every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Sometimes the shots go well.
Nice, Sabrina. Nice shot.
Sometimes they don't.
Oh.
And don't be fooled, throwing a disc is different from throwing a frisbee.
It's totally different. These things weigh a lot more than a regular frisbee. They're a lot sharper, they're a lot faster. It's just a totally different technique.
There are similarities, however, with the traditional game of golf.
Same rules apply as golf. You have a tee box, you have a target that you're going for. Instead of calling it, a hole, we call it a basket.
The discs can cost anywhere from $7 to $100, and they're not all made the same.
So you have drivers, and then you have mid-range discs, and you have putters. Each of them have a consistent and different beveled edge to them, which allow for different flight planes. When you grip a disc, you grip it much like you would a club or a racket. There's a lot of direction and power and force involved in frisbee and disc golf. It's not so much like throwing the traditional frisbee. which is more of a gingerly toss that allows the disc to flip flat and fly straight.
The sport really started to catch on in the 1970s. A championship player named Johnny Roberts helped spread the joy of disc golf to others. That's why this 16-acre course in Arvada now bears his name.
In 1993, the baskets were put in, and since then the sport has just exploded. So now the park is just crowded almost any nice afternoon.
Chauncey and Sabrina don't play as competitively as they used to, but the passion is in their blood.
As long as I can walk. Even if I'm in a wheelchair, I'll still play. I'll always play this game. I love it.
It's just really relaxing for me, you know, especially after a stressful day at work. Just come out here and play some disc golf and all your worries go away.
Like myself, you can play it you know, into your senior years and enjoy it just as much as you did when you were younger.
Great friendships, great exercise, and great scenery. Not a bad way to spend the day, especially if you get to hear that sound.